Hello and welcome to our Big Ten preview. This is our second conference preview that we've done here on Lynn Spreads on YouTube. I hope you enjoy. I hope you also watch the ACC conference preview. That's where we talked about kind of what happens in these type of videos, but I'll just run through it real quickly again for you. You'll see team previews. That's coming up in just a couple of seconds. And after that, you'll see the slideshow that'll contain your key games, key players, and your conference winners. So I hope you enjoy this video. And thank you very much, and make sure you check out the website for other videos coming up. The website is www.linnspreads2012.yolasite.com. Thanks. The words coming from Iowa that surround them seem to be inexperienced, young, and potential. And this is somewhat true. They do return senior quarterback James Vandenberg, but aside from this, the experience doesn't go on much farther. Thankfully for Iowa, they have an easy month of September in which they could go 5-0 against these teams. Northern Illinois, Iowa State, Central Michigan, Northern Iowa, and Minnesota. They also draw neither Ohio State or Wisconsin from the Leaders Division. Overall, this is a team that should benefit from their schedule, and they should be able to best their 7 wins from their 2011 season. Michigan's first season with Brady Hoke at the helm was by far a success. A win in the BCS Bowl game, not to mention a win against Ohio State. That's a win that they had not had in a long time. This year, however, all eyes will be on Arlington, Texas, where Michigan will face Alabama to open the season. The schedule doesn't get much easier after this, though. They have to face Notre Dame, Nebraska, and a revamped Ohio State team on the road. With their schedule, the 11 wins from last year probably won't be matched. The funny thing about this is I believe that the 2012 team is better than the 2011 team. However, the record may not necessarily show that. They are, in fact, for a better position in the Big Ten Championship, though, this year. One last thing. Just look at what a healthy Denard Robinson could do for your team. If he stays healthy, Michigan will be a very tough team to stop on offense this season. The Michigan State Spartans were very thankful to defeat Aaron Murray and the Georgia Bulldogs last year in the Outback Bowl after their thrashing by Alabama in the Capital One Bowl the year before. Turning our attention to this year. To put it simply, the Spartans' schedule is brutal. Get ready for this. They play Boise State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Nebraska at home, but they have to travel to Michigan and Wisconsin. They get both Ohio State and Wisconsin from the Leaders Division. If they can win 4 of these games, they could match the win total from last year's season. However, this is a very large if. We've got a quarterback. We've got to get everyone else to step it up around him. Those are the words of second-year head coach Jerry Kill, and it's quite true. Quarterback Marquise Gray seems to have finally emerged as a solid quarterback for the Golden Gophers. The Gophers will be seeking for their first bowl game in 3 years and their first bowl win in 8 years. If Minnesota can earn 3 wins in September, which they should be able to do, that should be a good starting point for the rest of the season and trying to meet those expectations. This may finally be the year Nebraska fans have been waiting for. It seems that quarterback Taylor Martinez may finally be living up to his maximum potential. Of course, having a stellar offensive line and star running back Rex Burkhead doesn't hurt a bit. After their inaugural season in the Big Ten, Nebraska should understand how to win in the league, and from all signs, they will win. This team should easily compete for a Legends Division title. Bowl games now seem to be a habit for Pat Fitzgerald and the Wildcats. But despite 4 bowl games in a row, they haven't been able to win one in over 64 years. Meanwhile, this season, they should compete for their 5th consecutive bowl game. Quarterback Kane Coulter now officially takes up the offense after backing up Dan Purser for a while. However, Coulter did start 3 games last year for the Wildcats. He threw 6 touchdowns and only 1 interception. They face a winnable non-conference schedule in Syracuse, Vanderbilt, Boston College, and South Dakota. It may be a struggle, but the Wildcats should earn their 5th bowl appearance in a row. Tim Beckman comes in and takes over the Fighting Illini with expectations of a 3rd straight bowl game. Their schedule makes it pretty easy, but they also have the chance to have a really fast start, much like their 6-0 start in the 2011 season. However, they do face Michigan, Wisconsin, and Ohio State on the road. Despite this, quarterback Nathan Scheelhaase should top last year's numbers, and the offense as a whole should improve. If the Illini take business in their winnable games, they should easily meet expectations. Indiana could be one of the most improved teams in the Big Ten. Last year, their only victory was against FCS foe South Carolina State. So, in reality, second-year head coach Kevin Wilson realizes that there's nowhere to go but up. For what it's worth, Indiana gets Ohio State, Michigan State, and Wisconsin all at home and doesn't have to play Michigan. Overall, a bowl game does seem like a stretch for the Hoosiers for now. But watch for sophomore quarterback Trey Robinson to improve this season, not to mention his career with the Hoosiers. It was a rough season for Ohio State last year. They finished below 500, lost to Michigan, and lost a bowl game to, surprise, yet another SEC school. Meanwhile, Urban Meyer steps in and he has brought life to Ohio State. Sophomore quarterback Braxton Miller fits perfectly with Meyer's scheme. Meyer is high on his quarterback. The last couple of times he loved his quarterbacks, see examples Alex Smith and Tim Tebow. Overall, despite the bowl ban, the Buckeyes should have a lot to play for, including trying to beat that team up north. Penn State can finally take somewhat of sigh of relief once college football gets kicked off in a little less than 2 weeks. It may be a rough season due to the obvious off-season issues they've faced this off-season, but also because they returned the fewest starters, 9, in the Big Ten this season. They opened the season with a dangerous Ohio squad. This first game should be a great test to see where the Nittany Lions' focus and ability are. I would like to give head coach Bill O'Brien a lot of credit. He's been handling this situation very well. We here at Lynn Spreads wish Penn State the best of luck. A lot of Purdue's success this year revolves around the health of their quarterbacks. Quarterbacks? Yes. Caleb Turbush, Robert Marve, and Robert Henry will likely all see snaps this season. All 3 have starting experience. Meanwhile, fourth-year head coach Danny Hope will try to make it back-to-back bowl games and victories for the Boilermakers. Despite perhaps having a better team than he did in 2011, he faces more challenges. However, if Purdue can win some key games, like home against Marshall and Penn State, and away games against Minnesota and Iowa, also a home game against Indiana, they have a chance. Danny O'Brien is this year's ACC transfer to Wisconsin. All kidding aside, he's got some shoes to fill after Russell Wilson's solid season last year. Wisconsin benefits from an easy schedule, which includes playing Ohio State and Michigan State at home. Wisconsin eyes a 3rd straight bowl game. This time, they won a victory. However, Ohio State and Penn State's bowl bans make this a much easier task. Think about it. Illinois is likely the 2nd best championship-eligible team in the Big Ten Leaders Division. I think Wisconsin will take those odds. Assuming running back Monty Ball can get on the right track this season, Wisconsin should cruise to their 2nd straight Big Ten championship game. Thanks for watching the Big Ten Conference Preview, and we're going to send you on your way with our slideshow. Again, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out the website. It's www.linspreads2012.yolasite.com. And so here's the slideshow. And thanks for watching. We're starting out with your key games.